Hello and welcome to episode 8 of the Good Poets Gaming Podcast Season 4. I can't believe we're that far in already, but
Yeah, I
today we
know.
are joined by Throwback Katie. Katie, introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about what you do, who you are, and just a general hello to our viewers.
Hi, so yes, under the tag of Throwback Katie, I post mostly retro games, retro consoles, lifetime collector or hoarder, depending on how you want to do that. And I've just started doing it's the same thing. I'd like to say it was a carefully curated collection, but it is more of a hoard at this point. I've started a new series called From Shed to Setup, where I go through my hoard
Yeah.
and discover what I've actually bought over the years.
Wow.
Yeah,
Can I
nice.
just say, Katie, that is the best background we have had on the show.
I did try very hard with this. So yeah, I am sat on the floor on a beanbag, but it just, do you know what? I thought rather than sit around the house with a bit of wallpaper behind me, if I actually sit in front of some of my hoard, it might look a little bit cooler.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you smashed it.
I mean, it's better than my background at the minute, and I've
Yeah,
just realised
all mine.
with the bloomin', we know that I had problems with the autofocus on this camera. So why on earth did I decide to put writing behind me that the camera's going to try and focus on loads? Like, jeez, Louise. Um, so where are we? So, Katie, first of all, give us a little bit of an insight into kind of what started your journey and why you decided that what you do needs to be shared. Why are you not doing this just for your personal enjoyment? Because you obviously want to show it to people. Why is that?
Yeah. I guess, I've been collecting, hoarding for a very long time, and lately, I mean, I started the new series. So I've always kind of posted my bits and bobs on Instagram and photos and things like that. And then I kind
Yeah.
of moved across to TikTok because I started doing these videos.
Yeah,
And mostly it was to try and keep me accountable. So I've amassed a load of stuff, far too much stuff, in the shed. And I thought, well, wouldn't it be nice if I kind of discover it with other people? So I'll go up the shed, I'll grab a random box and I'll go through it and I'm like, oh wow, I forgot I had this, or oh wow, I've actually bought 5 of these, which is the usual thing. I was up there the other day and I realized because I've got an Adams Family US SNES game here,
Oh,
and I
wow.
went through a
wow.
box up the sheds, found out I had another one in the shed and a UK one. So I actually buy a lot of stuff that I don't remember that I've bought. But I thought if I kind of video myself going through these boxes, that might be some quite interesting content.
Yeah,
Plus, I actually just enjoy it. I don't care if anybody watches it. I just enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
I enjoy discovering bits and bobs and seeing what I have. So that's kind of where that started.
yeah. I feel like that's the best way to be. Like, if you enjoy it yourself, then I suppose if you got 10 views, great. If you get a
Yeah.
million, great. Like,
Yeah.
I'm never going to sit here and say it doesn't matter because, certain people will
Yes.
be like, obviously, you'd love to have loads of views and, there's different opportunities that come from that. But at the end of the day, if you get 100 views or whatever it is on a TikTok, you're like, that's 100 people that I wouldn't have seen it if I never posted it. So good on you for
Yeah.
having that outlook.
Well, it's kind of that I'm not trying to make money out of it. I mean, it'd be lovely to go, oh yeah, I'll give up the day job and
Yeah,
just go
Yeah.
go through my crap and make loads of money. But no, it's just because I enjoy it. So I do content for construction industry,
mm,
um,
Oh, wow.
and well, yeah, I'm under Katie Crane's there, because I used to be a crane operator. So
Oh, wow.
and I kind of enjoyed that, and I was like, but I like gaming more than not that I
yeah,
don't love construction. It's a great industry, but
Yeah.
I like gaming more, and I think maybe I have a little bit to share there that I might find a little bit of passion in and enjoyment in. So that's why I moved across, really.
Oh,
yeah,
wow. No, that's amazing.
I get it.
I do have a question, but before that, I just wanted to say you've actually influenced me slash annoyed my partner So my partner's Polish, right? And one of your TikToks that you've posted was of the retro gaming museum in Warsaw.
in Wrocław. My partner's Polish as well.
Ah, okay. So I've just been shown her the video, going, how have you not told me about this? And
Yeah.
and when are we going? So yeah, that's well, I was gonna say it's caused an argument, but I don't see it as an argument because I feel like I'm right, right? Like,
You are definitely right.
yeah,
You, of course, you're right.
Yeah.
thank you. But yeah,
You're
no,
gonna be in for a treat though, because I've just come back from Krakow and I've gone to the Krakow Pinball Museum and the Krakow Arcade Museum.
oh
Oh,
So I've
wow,
got two more videos to come out, and they were both awesome. They were so cool. They were so cool. It's good. It's so good. Do you know what? I've been trying to learn Polish, but
yeah, same.
it's so hard. It's such a whole lot. It's such a hard language to speak. And when I went over this time, like, so I was trying to learn it, and all I can ask people is they're like American. Like, what good is that to me? Like, why am I going to go to Poland and ask people if they're what? What am I going to ask for? Or I can tell them I can speak a little bit of Polish, which is a total lie because I can't.
Yeah, no, that's
uh,
brilliant.
I love that.
But my actual question, Katie, is it's quite obvious, but why the name Throwback Katie?
I was trying to. I've got various Instagram accounts for like various passions, and
Mhm.
Yeah,
I was trying to like think of something that kind of represents retro gaming. And I was like, oh, it's like a throwback to like the 80s, isn't it? 80s, 90s. So I was like, Throwback Katie. It probably just makes me sound really old. I haven't really thought about how that sounds to other people, but
definitely not.
um, yeah, and that's where it kind of came from. I was kind of trying to find something a little bit unique, and it kind of stuck.
No, I like it.
Yeah. I mean, it is a good, it sticks with you quite easily and it tells you exactly what you do, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It shows that you're,
Yeah, old
into your
stuff.
retro. Yeah. Old school. I like it. Um, so you talked about that you had like different Instagram accounts for different passions and stuff like that. So I'm assuming you're quite well versed in the art of social media and the algorithms. But on that, what does your kind of creative process look like day to day, and how do you come up with the videos?
Oh, I'm kind of lazy, guys. I am lazy. I
So am I.
just whenever the mood takes me. So before I come on here, because I'd like had a bit of makeup on, I was like, I'm gonna go and open a box and record that, because otherwise I'm like bun on top of the head, walking around the house looking an absolute mess. So for well, well, you probably don't, but when you're a woman, you have to make a certain amount of effort for these things, and or I mean, nobody's going to want to watch me with that top bun. So that's what the process looks like. Have I got makeup on? Do I look reasonably okay to sit there and chat in front of the camera? And I had about half an hour before I come on here, and I actually went and did one. So it kind of fits in when and if. And I'm not like, oh my God, I have to post every day. I have to post 3 times a week. It's like
Yeah.
when I feel like it. Like I say, it's
Yeah.
I'm not out there earning money off it, so I'm not like now, let's go. It's kind of like I have a full-time job. It's whenever the mood takes me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the opportunity ever came up to, make money off it, would you feel that you'd be able to do it in terms of like the scheduling and the amount of effort that it takes? Do you feel like that's something you could do?
Oh, I mean, I'd love to say yeah, definitely. And maybe it becomes more of a job then. And I kind of
Yeah, it
think
does.
if it
Yeah.
became a job, would I enjoy it as much as I enjoy it, where I'm not held to anything and I just talk about what I like and I don't have to worry too much. And I don't know if it was a job whether I'd quite be as passionate about it,
Yeah,
to be
Yeah.
fair.
honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because like I obviously stream, and with streaming, you gain access to making a bit of money fairly quickly. Not massive amounts, but the
Mm.
prospect is there. But the thing with Twitch is your ability to make money is completely dependent on your viewers. So
Right.
these mega, like your ISO speeds and your side men and these people, obviously they can fully quit the jobs and crack on. But for a lot of other people, they might have 1 month where they make 20 grand. They might have 1 month where they make 100 quid. So it's very touch and go, because it's not like you have a boss. It's a bit similar to being self-employed, I suppose, isn't it? So
Yeah, very.
it is quite a scary prospect.
Yeah, and all I'm thinking about is who's going to pay the mortgage. Like,
Yeah.
where's that going to come from? Who's going
Yeah.
to pay that? And I don't think I could deal with the anxiety of putting all
No.
my eggs in that basket. I just don't think I could do that.
Yeah, I mean the way I like the way that it is now, like for me personally, because it's not like people paying me are paying mortgage. Like I got a Twitch payout very recently, and
Yeah,
I'm gonna buy a new ring light. They know that it's going back into the channel, and it's all about, or I might get a new game, or it's gonna impact
nice.
them again in some way. It's never like I'm taking that money out to go have a piss up, on a Friday night or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that's like the way that I like it. And if it turned into paying bills and stuff, it'd be a bit. I don't know how I feel about that really. So it's an interesting
Yeah.
topic for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's what I need to worry about for a while, guys. I'll be honest.
Oh, fingers crossed it
Yeah,
becomes a worry for you soon.
yeah. I mean, you
Um,
could just sell all the stuff that you got in the sheds. You make a
oh,
lot off
definitely
that.
don't do that. Do not
Oh,
do
you know
that.
what? I've
No,
got to go
don't.
through it,
But you could.
guys. Yeah, I've got and I'm trying to figure out what I've got double. My first thing, I guess, is kind of seeing what doubles are there and what
Yeah.
Yeah.
extras are there, because I know I've got multiples of various consoles in various states, and look, there's a lot of rubbish that I probably just want to sell on, like
Yeah.
unboxed kind of
Yeah.
PS3s, PS2s, PS1s that are just everywhere, that can just go to a new home and be looked after,
Yeah.
because I don't need it. I think I'm at the point where I need to see what I've got, keep the nice stuff, and kind of curate a careful collection rather than a complete hoard.
Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense.
It's a
Makes
good
sense.
idea.
Yeah.
In theory, fingers crossed. I really I can't let anything go. I'm terrible at that as well. So yeah, we'll see.
Oh, bless. Dan mentioned some of the biggest streamers in the world, but question to you, Katie. Are there any content creators that have inspired you on your journey?
Do you know what? I'd love to go, oh yeah, all these cool, and not really. Like, I've always been part of like Retro Collective Europe, which is a group of retro collectors, and
Yeah.
for years now, and we're all quite good friends. And my mate Joe Bleeps, he makes Game Boy handhelds and
Oh,
does reviews of different kind of handhelds. And I always liked his stuff. I thought that was really cool. But no one's that. I mean, I follow a lot of people who do like these kind of retro gaming rooms, which are really bloody cool.
yeah.
And I'm so jealous because they've got the space that I wish I had. They've got like these massive units. There's I can't think of her name. The Australian girl, I can't think of her name, it'll come to me. She's really brilliant. But they've got like this massive basement full of like all the coolest retro gaming stuff, all the special editions, all the like standees and everything. It's just
Yeah.
so awesome. And I've got a lot of cool stuff, but it's
Space issue.
Yeah.
it's a space issue. It's definitely
Yeah.
a space issue.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
Yeah. I love how before you were kind of toying with the idea that you're like, I may be a hoarder, I may not be, and now you're like, I need more space.
Yeah, well, the part of the problem is I collect like trainers as well. So,
Oh, wow.
Wow.
so there's like this battle that goes on. Look, if I got rid of all the trainers, I'd probably have a lot more space for some other stuff, and
More games.
Yeah.
yeah, more games that I could put everywhere. But I think the plan now is to get everything down, and then it's from shed to setup. So eventually I'll have the setup that I can
Yeah.
show off,
Yeah.
but at the moment it's mostly shed.
Nice. Um, So far, content-wise, what is the kind of the most pinch yourself moment that you've had, if you've had any?
Oh, on the gaming side, not overly. Although this week someone messaged me and they were like, "Oh, would you like to test one of our handhelds and do a
Oh
video?" And
wow.
I was like, and that for me was like, "Oh wow, I've
Yeah,
made it."
yeah,
I've made it. Someone's giving me a handheld to look at. I've absolutely nailed it. And then I just thought that was really trusting and really cool. And
Yeah.
somebody must actually like the content that I'm putting out to ask me to do something like that. And I
100%.
think that was a bit of a pinch me moment. And look, it's just the fact somebody wants to give me something that I can sit and talk about. Hopefully it's cool. Like I'm well up for it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I
No,
think
that is
that's
quite
probably
cool.
a little bit of a yeah, pinch me moment.
Yeah. Okay, going going more on that question. What would be your like? I don't want to say pie in the sky. Maybe like in a year from now, if something happened in content for you, and you look back
Yeah,
and gone, "Wow." But like a kind of
yeah.
like a realistic thing that could happen. What would you want that to be? What's a little goal for yourself in the
See,
next year?
I'd like to, I love events. I would love to be
Mm.
invited to some of these
Yes.
kind of launches and events and kind of blog that, like go into the museum. I love all that kind of stuff. It's just, it feeds me a little bit, and that's what I do in construction as well. So like,
Yeah.
without boring you about construction, but
No, go for
last
it.
week I was like at a 50th anniversary for a crane company, which is really cool. And the day before I
Yeah.
went to a launch of a new training centre for young people in Colchester.
Oh,
And
Nice.
amazing.
next week I'm at, it's like all that. And next week I'm at JCB Hydromax, which is they're trying to beat the land speed record. And
Oh wow.
I love that stuff. So if I could
Yeah.
do that, but in the gaming world, that I would, yeah, that would be it for me. That would what I'd like to do. Like I say, I
No.
don't need to make money, but invite me along. I'd love it.
Yeah. Do you know
I'd
what?
love
I've
to see
just
it.
thought, I've had a bit of a light bulb moment. Do you know what I think you'd be really good doing? And I get this vibe from you that you're good at working with other people. Is if you got all of the stuff that's in your shed that you didn't necessarily want or need anymore, and you went and took that into schools as like an after school gaming club. I
That's
think
cool.
that'd be amazing. And then you're killing two birds, one stone. It could become a bit of a side hustle for you, and
Yeah.
you're getting the event side of things. I know it's not like a massive event, but it's
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
No, that's cool.
Well,
And I do school talks as I'm a STEM ambassador, so
Oh,
I
amazing.
do those, but I talk about construction and cranes and that kind of jazz rather than games. But games are a bit more interesting, aren't they? But then what I'd have to do is I'd have to check all the kids' hands and see how sticky they are. Um,
Definitely, definitely.
no, I'll put the game in. Give me a minute.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Don't touch the game.
Oh, I'm just imagining all the controllers. I used to work in a primary school, so I know
Oh, did you?
what that'd be like. Yeah, I know exactly what that'd be like. Oh my word.
Nice. Oh God.
Oh dear. So we're gonna go on to some questions that are a bit more specialised to you now. I know we kind of went into your content and stuff, but this is more like from, and I won't take any credit. Poetic comes up with the questions, but this is from what our research about you and what we've found out, and some things that we want to know a little bit more about. Now, I'm not gonna lie, we have about 20 questions here. We're not gonna ask them all,
Oh,
but should we say? Poetic, we pick three each.
Yeah, that's grand.
Cool. Do you want to go first, mate?
Yeah. Um. So this one's a bit more general, but just very curious. What started your passion for one gaming and then second collecting?
so the gaming side, my first console, this will show my age now. My first console was a ZX Spectrum, which
Nice.
I got
Nice.
for Christmas back in the day. And I think that's where it started. So I used to play, I remember it was a James Bond edition, which had a gun as well. and it had like
Oh,
these
Nice.
spectrums all tape, and it was like, "Hi, this is Q. This is a special message," and it was all really, really cool. And it had like a James Bond passport with it and stuff. And I used to play that with my dad, and we used to go back then. You could get Spectrum games in like sweet shops. I
oh
don't know if you
wow.
remember.
Nice.
How old am I? God, you're right. You could go,
I will
you
tell
could
you
go
my
in
age.
and they had like a little spinning display, and you could go through, and Spectrum games were like cheap. They were like £5 or something like that, and you could
Wow.
Yeah.
pick up whatever you want. And I remember we had Return of the Jedi, which me and my dad used to play a lot. And I think that's where it started. And then following the Spectrum, I got a Mega Drive for Christmas and a Mega CD. And then it just went from there. It just
Yeah.
absolutely went from there. Um, and then during that time, my dad used to take me to boot sales as well. My dad's a bricklayer, and he'd always go and buy
Mm.
tools and stuff like that. And I'd be going looking for like games. And back in the day, you could go to boot sales and you could pick up games for so cheap. Like I remember getting Sonic CD on the Mega CD, £2. Like,
Wow.
and
Wow.
it would sit there. Like, you know how, I don't know if you do a lot of boot sales, but now I was at a boot sale this morning. You go to a boot sale now, there's like 50 resellers all waiting, going through the good stuff. You won't get anything. Asking
No.
people as their car pulls in, you got any games, mate? Got any games? I'm like, oh. But before, they just used to sit there. And I remember doing a boot sale when I was a lot younger and trying to sell my ZX Spectrum for like a fiver with all the games, and nobody bought it.
Oh
Oh
no.
my God.
You couldn't. I've still got it.
Okay,
Thankfully
good.
nobody
Yeah, I
bought
was
it,
gonna
Yeah.
but
say.
but you couldn't sell anything. Like, people just weren't interested. There wasn't that resale market. The only
Mm.
people who were interested are the people who are interested in playing games, and they're few and far between.
Yeah. Oh
Wow.
wow.
That's how times have changed, eh?
Yeah.
Do
Oh,
you
mate, I was at a boot sale this morning and I got nothing. Well, I got a couple of bits, but dry.
Yeah. Do you think that, like, this isn't my question, it's just a follow up to Poetics, but
It's
do you think
definitely
that,
your
like,
question. I'm joking. Go for
do
it.
you think that social media has kind of the known thing about, like, there are these rare games and everyone knows that there are certain people that will have these games and not have a clue how much they are, sell them for £2 and someone can just pick them up and sell them for like 200. Do you think social media has had a positive or negative impact on that car booting?
Look, I've got to say negative. Look, I miss the good old days. I mean, some of the pickups I've had are like, I picked up a box Saturn for £2, a
Mm.
hard
Wow.
dance mat for £2. You know, like when I was on Twitter, people used to send me stuff for like free. Like, oh, I'm just getting rid of it, and I like a Master System turn up with like 30 games, and all the,
Wow.
like this stuff that you would never get now because everyone knows the price
Yeah.
of everything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's there's so many people going out there filming this boot sale content as well, and going like hustling, and I think it's just, yeah, for me it's ruined it's kind of taken that shine off. I
Yeah.
mean, every now and again I find a good buy, and last week I picked up Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone on the PS2, and I got that for £1, and that's like a 60-70 pound game. So
Yeah.
there's
That
still
is
like the odds,
so rare.
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
I mean,
there's still that excitement, but it's harder.
I've actually got a quick story about that Harry Potter game. So my mum loved the PS2 and loved the Harry Potter games that came out with it, and it was just a time when there were loads of Disney tie-ins, and like there's a reason that a lot of people of like kind of my generation and even my mum's generation think it's one of the best consoles ever made. Um, but my dad was trying to find the Harry Potter game that you picked up, and he only found it on eBay because he spelt, sorry, philosophers wrong. And
Oh, okay.
because of that typo, the seller had spelt it wrong. So it came up because everyone else was spelling it correctly and swiping them straight away, whereas this seller had
yeah.
about 30 of them. and he just wasn't getting any
Wow.
sales because he spelled it wrong. And I think he put like philosophers rather than airs. Like it was that simple. But my dad managed to get
Well,
it for like a fiver or a tenner or something back
Oh
in the day.
wow.
And then I remember him coming home one day and going, "Oh, your mum doesn't play that anymore. I sold it and I got it for 20 quid." Sold it, and in my head I was just like, "Dad, they've done you in there," because this was only like 15 years ago or 10 years ago or whatever it was, and I'm like, "Oh, they've done
oh,
you in."
do you know? Do you know what? I used to collect. Well, technically I still do, but again, due to space, not as much. But I have a whole bunch of like video game guides and like a whole bunch of games and consoles at my mum's, and at least once every few months, my mum will call me and be like, "Yeah, hey, like you've got like unopened X thing about video games. Shall I throw this away or like do you still want?" And I'm like, "Mum, like don't even look at it. Like
Don't look at it.
I've sold it on Facebook
yeah,
Marketplace for you.
Oh
yeah." And
God.
she was like,
Ten
"Oh, is it
pounds.
worth?" Yeah, and I'm like, "Is it worth any money?" And then like I sent her a screenshot of it going for like hundreds of pounds on eBay, and she was like,
Yeah.
"Ah, okay, so shall I sell it then?" I'm like, "No." Oh,
Oh dear.
it's the first thing I do after saying hi to my mum. I just go up into the room where all my stuff still is and just like ensure that it looks relatively the same.
I've just got an
That she
image of
does.
you like opening the door, going, "Hi, mum," pushing her out the way
Yeah,
and running up the
exactly.
stairs.
Yeah,
Yeah, Mum, I think that's moved. I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
Did you
basically,
touch
yeah,
anything? Yeah.
Scanning for fingerprints.
Yeah.
yeah.
Go
Oh,
on, Poetic. I that went off on a tangent, so I'll let you do another
um,
question.
I've I've actually I don't know if this question is on the list. I think there is a variation of this, but as a retro collector, and how do you feel about remakes? So I think Sega's recently announced Crazy Taxi and
Mm,
Oh,
stuff
I'm
like
so
that.
excited. Yeah,
so am
no,
I.
I'm so excited. Look, I play. I don't just play retro. I have an Xbox. I have an Xbox Series X, a PS5. I'm
Yeah,
still current,
Yeah.
even if though my name's Throwback Katie. But I am so excited about Crazy Taxi. I'm so glad you brought that up. I am a big Crazy Taxi fan. I need
Yeah.
Gina to be there. I need to collect those fares. I need to do this. But no, I love a remake.
yeah,
Look, I think it's the problem with retro, not the problem with retro, but sometimes you get a retro game, you put it on, and you're like, bloody hell, this is unplayable.
Mm,
I
yeah,
can't bloody play this. And you have such fond memories of this game. And I a bit like Eternal Darkness, one of my favorite games on the GameCube. Absolutely
yeah,
fantastic game. The mental breakdown and everything. It's just it's amazing. Now I sit there and try and play it. I'm like, I cannot. I can just, and that's a GameCube, and a GameCube games are
yeah.
still relatively
Rel
playable. But
yeah, yeah.
I'm like, I cannot play this. So yeah, remake a game, bring it up to date, make it look a bit more flashy. For me, fantastic. I have no problem with that.
Okay, wicked.
yeah.
And I guess a slight follow-up to that is how far back would you consider a retro game? Because we've had remakes of like The Last of Us, which I wouldn't consider
No.
retro in any
No,
way,
I
shape, or
wouldn't.
form. But then
Yeah.
you will want like games from like the early PS2 life cycle, and they'll like Sly Cooper, right? Like I've never played a Sly Cooper game. I would love them to make a remake of it, but yeah, nothing. So where does that line end between something that you would consider retro and something where you'd consider modern?
Okay. So that's a good question. So retro, I would say PS2 ending. I would call PS2
Yeah.
pretty retro.
Yeah.
PS3, I would still class as fairly modern.
Okay.
I'm not sure, I'm not sure we need to remake too many PS3 games. They're still so playable, and
Mm,
Yeah.
I don't. yeah, PS2 I think is where the retro kind of age ends, and PS3 onwards I would say is a bit more modern.
Yeah, I feel like I'd agree with that. Purely, I know that like people say not to judge games on graphics, but in terms of like the technology behind the graphics, I feel like PS2. If you compare like PS1 and PS2, I
Yeah,
don't feel like the jump's as big as PS2 to PS3.
agree.
Yeah,
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 absolutely agree. And I think, you
Yeah.
know, PS3 was online, so it's
Yeah.
online capability as
yeah.
a console. Um, Before that, you know, the Dreamcast tried it, but yeah, not great. But yeah, I would say modern PS3 onwards.
Yeah. Can I
Okay.
just throw a bit of a hot take out there? So I am one of the most introverted persons ever. Persons? People. I don't know what's going on with my speech today.
There's multiple good game Dans,
There are
clearly.
in there's a multiverse of game
Yeah.
dans. There's bad game Dan, there's smart game Dan, there's dumb game Dan. No, wait, that's me. Anyway, I've lost my complete train of thought now. Oh yeah, so I was so introverted that when PS3 came out with all the online and stuff like that, and my mates were like inviting me to parties and stuff like that, I was like, I just want to play Assassin's Creed 2 in peace. Like, leave me alone. Like, I think my PS5, I'm still on Do Not Disturb. Like, whatever that, so it looks like you're offline. Like, I
Yeah.
always did that. Always, always, always. I remember I had an ex girlfriend actually who was a gamer, and I used to like ignore her so I could play my story
Ooh.
games as well.
Ooh.
Which
Savage. Yeah.
yeah, she doesn't listen to this. I hope. It was like 10 years ago. We're okay. We're all good. Oh dear. Right. Moving swiftly on from that. um. So our show is called the Good Poets Gaming Podcast. But if you had to describe the kind of the poetry of gaming to someone who doesn't play them and try and get
Mhm.
someone to play those games, what would that conversation look like? And maybe also throw in a game that you'd recommend to a non-gamer.
Oh, okay. So what I love about games, and if I was trying to sell the art of gameplay to anyone, it is escapism from realism.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
I like to escape into different worlds, and that's for me. That's what I enjoy about gaming. I'm the same with books actually. I'm going to read fantasy. I'm going to read sci-fi. I don't want to
Yeah.
read anyone's bloody autobiography. I don't give a shit.
No.
I want to go to the most beautiful world I can escape to. And whether that's so one of my favorite games is BioShock. I
Yeah.
Ooh,
love
yeah.
I love BioShock. It's just so beautiful. Dishonored, like all these crazy worlds, Final
Yeah.
Fantasy. I need to go somewhere completely different. I
Yeah.
need to travel. I need to, you know, I mean, my other half plays hours and hours of Battlefield, and I don't get it. I don't get
Yeah.
it. It's not. It's too. Don't get me wrong. Every now and again, I get a Call of Duty. I throw so many hours into it, and then I've had
Yeah.
enough of it again.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't get that. That's just. It's he wants to sit in a tank and shoot things, and I'm like, no, I need to travel to some far off place, talk to someone who's going to give me a side quest, spend far too long on side quests and never ever complete this game in my whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what
No,
I like about gaming.
yeah, I get it. Um, do you have a recommendation then?
So my ref for beautiful, and then I love point and click as well. So
Yeah.
I'm a real point and click fan. So one of my favorite, as you can see, is Day of the Tentacle.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. And I think if I was going to recommend a game to someone, it probably would be Game in the If you've never played a game, all right, point and click might be a little bit challenging. You might need a little guide or something to carry you through there. But in terms of comedy writing,
Yeah.
enjoying it, having a laugh, and just playing through a game with no stress. There's no stress in a point and click. You either get it or you don't get it. There's
Yeah.
no real stress. It's working through a written story.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I would recommend a non-gamer to definitely step into the point and click world, either Day of the Tentacle or maybe Discworld, also a fantastic point and click game. Escape into, you know, there and play Rinse Wind, and it's also really funny. To me, it's really funny. I can sit there and have a giggle about these things. Or if you want to go as a non, I think going back to the classics, kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog. What's wrong with Sonic?
Yeah.
For a non-gamer, I mean, you know, to sit down and just battle through Sonic. I mean, my second console was a Sega Mega Drive, and just sitting there trying to do it over and over and over again. I don't know if people have the stamina to do it over and over again these days, but I think it's just easy to play, isn't it? It's like a start button and 3 buttons. Let's just
absolutely.
I think any of those kind of like, you know, your Sonics, your Spyro, anything like that, Crash Bandicoot, maybe not. Crash can be a bit challenging, but I feel like for enjoyment and kind of pick up and playability, I think it's a good mix with those 3 games. They're kind of like my golden trio of games, I think, those 3.
Yeah, good call. I like it. I mean, Crash is timeless, isn't it? It's still very playable.
Yeah. So in terms of your collection, boxed or loose cartridges, do they matter to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it matters. Yeah, I have both. I have a lot of loose, but it's only the box one that matters. Yeah, this is where the collector comes into it rather than the game player, doesn't it? But
Yeah.
I'm not completely anal about it. I've got friends that are very anal about these things, and all the corners have to be crispy mint and everything like that. I just need a box that isn't like all crumpled to shit. And I'm quite happy. But yeah, I do prefer boxed games over.
Yeah, no, I think we all do. But the question then is, if there is a game that you wanted and it was loose cartridge, would you pass?
Yes.
Oh,
Wow.
really?
Wow, okay.
Yeah. I just look, I have carts everywhere and I don't know what to do with them. They just kind of hang around. But I don't know. I just really like a box, guys. I mean, I think I did a video not so long ago, and I think I spoke for about 5 minutes just about how I like a nice box. Yeah, it's unhinged. I get it. It's unhinged, but yeah, I probably would turn it down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what? Actually, I think let me make sure I'm gonna get this right. Yeah, I think apart from my Xbox Series X, I have kept every console box, and people thought I was crazy. My partner as well, right? But then when we went to go sell her PS5, sorry, not was it her PS5? We went to go sell a PS5, and we got £20 more because I had the box.
Exactly.
And I was like, you see, like,
exactly. You need a box. You need a box on things anyway. I'm just yeah. And one thing
You
that
guys
really
are gonna
annoys me
hate
when
me.
I got you know, I got a PS2 and it was a Prince of Persia edition, and for some reason in my younger state, I ripped the sleeve off that. Why did I do? I've still got it. It's in there with a big rip down the front of the sleeve.
Oh.
Why was I so bloody heavy-handed? And it's one thing that just sits with me to today. And that yeah.
Well, we live and we
Sorry, I
learn.
could totally cut you off there.
No, it's good. You're the guest. The only boxed console that I have because it looks cool for my display is, I don't know whether you'll be able to see it, my PS Portal at the top there.
I can see it.
That is the only boxed console, like box that I've kept. I don't really know what
So you
I
hold
did
up.
with...
You had the boxes and you got rid of them.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you bin
damn.
them?
I think so.
Oh,
I recycled them. I
Yeah, I was
recycled
gonna
them.
say, I hope you recycled them at
I
least.
recycled them.
oh,
But like,
oh no.
see, I'm very much. I have a. This is why this podcast is interesting, because I have a completely like different take on physical. I'm assuming you're like, if a game's physical and you like it, you're gonna get it physically rather than download
Of
it.
course, that is
So,
the only way, Dan.
so for me personally, you see
Yeah.
by like the Deadpool, and there's like a little stack of games. That is it. That's all I have
Okay.
physically. But
Yeah.
my new thing is every single one of those games, I either love the game or it is objectively one of the best games ever made in my like. I was about
Okay.
to say in my opinion, but then it's not objectively. Um, but yeah, so because like not to kind of like put my dad on air here, but he gets me some god awful games sometimes. Like I think he bought me American Truck Driver Simulator, and it was great for about an hour, and then I was like, no, because I used to love Euro Truck Simulator. That was one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
But this was like one on the PS5, and then a wheel didn't work with it, and I was like, but that's the whole point.
Point. Yeah.
Like, what? Why am I
Yeah.
going? Like, for me, if I'm gonna play a race, it's why I don't really play racing games anymore, because I don't have my wheel. If I'm gonna play Forza, I need a wheel, I need pedals, I need the gear stick. Like, it needs to be a bit dissimilar to you. It needs to be very realistic if I'm going into that realistic thing, and that's probably why I'm going more kind of like fantasy with like Clair Obscur and all these different games now. But yeah, long story short, that's my only box that I've still got.
Yeah.
I don't
I
really
mean,
know why I've kept that, but I have.
I'm impressed though. I mean, I wish I could do that. I wish I could just go, oh, stuff it. Let me just
Nah.
concentrate and just keep
Yeah.
what I like. But I'm so, yeah, I'm just not like that. But then again, I am a hoarder, so don't. So
I think
there's
that's our
extremes.
title,
There's extremes. There's
Hoarder
extremes to
Katie.
these things. Yeah, it's got to be physical, and if there's a limited edition, I get really excited. But yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, so how many questions have we done each now, Poetic? I can't remember.
I don't know, but I've got one that I really want to ask. But
Okay, we'll do
it's
one
your
more
turn.
each. Go for it.
Yeah. So I assume, like you mentioned before, you go to car boots and all of this stuff. But what is your actual strategy for hunting down games, finding good bargains, and stuff like that?
These days I try not to buy as much as I used to buy. So
Okay.
but I do still every now and again I get really into it, and I'm like on Vinted and I'm on eBay, and I've got so many saved items for things that I want. So I'm trying to concentrate more on things that I never bought that I really want. So like Hello Kitty Dreamcast. I'm dying for a Hello Kitty Dreamcast in pink. If anyone's out there wants to send me a Hello Kitty Dreamcast in pink, I'm dying for one. So I'm trying to be a little bit more picky
Yeah.
about although I went to a boot sale today and I bought a Commodore tape deck in a box.
Oh,
I don't
nice.
even own a Commodore. And I bought two PS3 games that I didn't really need for £1 each. So every now and again I'll bump, if I see a bargain and I know it's a bargain, I can't help but bloody buy it. Whether that's
Yeah,
at
of
the
Yeah.
course.
charity shop, I'll go up the charity shop quite often, see what they've got, go through their games. Or whether it's at a boot sale. I can't leave things if I assume they're a really, really
Yeah.
good buy. That's when I struggle. But I am trying to be a little bit more picky about what I pick up these days. Whereas before it is, anything and everything, get excited about it and just buy it. But now I'm trying to be a little bit more,
No,
a
that is
little
great.
bit more selective. I mean, I'm at the other end. It's kind of let's try and be a little bit more selective.
Yeah, no, I hear it.
Nice. I like it. So this one kind of goes hand in hand with that last question of trying to be selective. But if you were to see your kind of like your grail item, or you might already have it, what would that be?
Oh, I have a good few grails. So I went to, I don't know, do you know a lot about the Mega PC? So
No.
No.
I like because the Mega Drive and the Mega CD are like my favorite consoles of all consoles.
Mm.
I like consoles that are derived from that. So there's like the Pioneer Laser Active, which has a Mega Drive bolt on that goes in. So I've got one of those. I've got the Multi Mega, which is like a all-in-one um, Mega Drive and Mega CD, and like all these
Wow.
other kind of. And then there's the Mega PC, which is an Amstrad PC
Yeah.
that takes
Yeah.
a Mega Drive. I don't know. Yeah, I'm probably teaching you to suck eggs here, but anyway,
No.
yeah. For anyone
No,
who
no.
doesn't know, it's a Amstrad PC which was fairly underpowered at the time and didn't sell a great deal, but it takes a Mega Drive cart. So I ended up
Wow.
buying 3 of these because because I found some good deals, so bargains. Um, so I ended up with 3 of these bloody things, and I still haven't got one that. Well, I've got one that works, but that's in the shed, and then I've got another one that's been repaired for like the past 3 years
Bloody hell.
by this guy. At this point, I don't know what's happening with it. But yeah, so I own quite a few Grail items. There are other things I'd like there was a Mega Drive, Mega CD, like boombox,
Mm.
which is
Oh,
extortionate in price. I probably never own it. Or the Terra Drive, which is the Japanese version of the Amstrad that I own all 3 of.
well.
But yeah, sorry, I do go into it.
No.
No,
Sorry.
no, no. Love
Well,
it.
that's
Absolutely
why
love
we
it.
wanted you on the podcast, and
Yeah.
I will say this. I will say this because for those that don't know, me and Poetic change responsibilities and stuff, but I source the kind of the networking and getting people in. You are by far the most excited guest to come on the podcast, and I mean that in the
Oh,
nicest way possible. That you
Yeah.
were like, oh my god, I can't wait, it's gonna be great.
do you know what?
I
Because
love that
nobody ever
energy.
asked me. Nobody's ever wanted to talk to me about games before. I'm so excited. I'm like, I'm a bit of an introvert, and look,
Yeah.
I haven't got friends that are into this kind of stuff. I just
Yeah.
haven't. So part of the reason I show things online and talk about it online is so I meet like-minded people. So the fact
Mm.
you asked me to come on and talk about it, I was buzzing. I was like, oh my God, somebody wants to talk to me about my games. I'm
Yeah.
like proper excited, honestly.
Oh
No,
no, bless.
that's why we like doing this podcast. Is it's kind of like weirdly me and Poetic. When people are scrolling through the FYP or the friends or whatever on TikTok, for everyone else it's just like doom scrolling. But for me and Poetic, it's like we've got a little scouts cap on. And
Yeah.
we're like we're trying to see like, and then someone will catch our eye and go, "Oh, they've got an interesting opinion about games." And the video that did that for me was you were talking about your shed to set up, and I was like, "That's cool, that's interesting.
Yeah.
We've got to get her on." And here we are.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wicked.
I
No,
appreciate the invite, guys. I really do.
no, it's all good. Um, So now we're going to go on to kind of just speaking of you talking about gaming, this is more just general gaming, what you enjoy. Um, the first question I've already asked, which was kind of what's your holy grail. So Poetic, if you want to take it away with the second question.
Yep. So what is your favorite game of all time? Is it actually Crazy Taxi?
That's No, it's not. I love Crazy Taxi, but it's not my favorite game of all time. And do you know what? This is a hard question. I
Yeah.
think this
Mm.
is so. I mean, if I'm going like modern, it's going to be like BioShock. I
Okay.
can't.
Mm,
It's just my favorite. If I'm going, and BioShock isn't modern, so the fact I'm calling BioShock modern is probably quite a shock. If I'm going like PC, it's probably Day of the Tentacle. If I'm going Mega Drive, it's Castle of Illusion, probably one of the most beautiful Disney games
that
I've ever
sounds
played.
good.
That hardly
Yeah.
it's such a beauty. I mean, Disney games back in the day were the pinnacle of gaming. They
Yeah.
were all so good. They were, and Castle of Illusion was just one of those ones. My dad bought me a Japanese cart of, I don't know how we ended up with a Japanese cart, but he did. And I had to buy this little honeybee adapter to use it on my Mega Drive. But it was just, even back then, I couldn't read it obviously, but it was just such a beautiful
Yeah.
game. But to pick one favorite game for me is kind of impossible. I think I have different games from different eras that are my
Yeah.
favorite, and different, you know, and then I play a lot of sim-based games as well, and I love Sims 4, great, and
Yeah.
two if I'm playing modern, I'm like 2 Point Campus, 2 Point Hospital. I sit there for hours.
Yeah.
My other half does not get it at all. He's like, why don't you, considering he sits there playing Battlefield for however many hours a day, he's like, how do you sit there building a hospital? I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
but yeah, favorite, if I was to pick one, it probably would be Castle of Illusion. I don't think I'd get bored of it. So
Yeah, okay.
Nice.
I've actually got a follow-up question. Because you mentioned BioShock. What game that's been announced are you looking forward to?
oh, I was watching the Xbox announcements a little bit yesterday, and
Yeah,
there's this Clockwork game. I
Clockwork
can't think of the full
Revolution.
title of it. And I was like, oh my God, that's me. That's where I am. Because to me it looked very Bioshocky.
Yeah, yeah,
And you know, that kind of RPG kind of hands game. And I was like, oh, that looks fantastic. And I bought into that. Yeah, probably
yeah,
for me that's the way I'm going at the moment.
yeah. Do you know what?
Nice.
I'm surprised, but not. So, because I thought you would mention Judas.
Okay, yes, yeah, it does look great as well. No, yeah, yeah, good call. I didn't think of that one. Call me out. Yeah. Yeah, good shout. Good shout.
Fair.
Yeah.
Very
Nice.
Bioshocky.
Mm.
Okay, so what is your favorite gaming memory? And this can be something that's happened whilst you're in a game, or kind of like a moment the gaming is surrounded
Yeah.
by. It can be, it's up for your interpretation.
So I think I've got two. So
Go
first
for it.
one is playing columns with my dad. My dad loves columns. I don't know why. He always did, even when I was a kid. He'd come in and he'd be like, put columns on, and we'd always play columns. So that one, and I love that he did that. My dad's not like a gamer.
No.
He
Mm.
never was like a gamer, but columns and the Spectrum for some reason he was really into. And my second one is probably, back in the day I had a mate called James, fantastic guy, and his mum used to buy him a lot of different consoles. So
Oh wow.
I went from ZX Spectrum to Mega Drive to PlayStation. So James had N64, he had Sega Saturn, he had Dreamcast, he
Wow.
had all the things that I didn't have. So I used to spend a lot of time around my mate James's house every
Yeah.
summer holiday, and every weekend I'd be around there. But one of my favorite memories is us going to the video shop and renting. We rented Resident Evil 3, and we played it all summer trying to kill this game, and then we couldn't finish the final boss, so we just agreed that if anyone asked us, we would say that we completed it, but we
Nice.
actually never completed it. But it was just, I think it's just that thing of going to the video shop to rent a game that you don't own, and then just trying to complete it in this like
Yeah.
week that you've got it.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think some of my best gaming memories are actually with James, because he was the one that I grew up gaming with and
Yeah.
playing on these consoles that I would never have had access to do. So like playing Sonic R on the Sega Saturn, and playing Diddy Kong Racing on the N64, and Mario Party. And when he changed his console, he used to get rid of the old one. So he actually gave me his N64 and all the
Oh wow.
games.
Oh,
I
wow.
still have all, do you know, like, and it's just, yeah, just amazing, really.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's brilliant.
No,
I
I
love
still
that's
that.
have all
what.
these games.
Yeah.
I love that.
You
Um.
just brought me on. Sorry, Poetic, but you
Oh,
just
go
made
for
me
it.
think of something. And I don't know if this was a Liverpool thing, but when yous were growing up, did you have, just when you're saying that James had all these different consoles, did you have that person in the street that could crack games and he just had a stack of them? Is that a thing, or is that just a Scouse thing?
No, so my uncle sent me over to crack my PS1. He sent me a kit to do that, and then he used to like send me over games for it as well. So I ended up with a load of like PS1 games like Parasite Eve and things like random games, Ridge
Yeah.
Racer Type 4 and loads of other games that I wouldn't have been able to afford or had access to play. So yeah, it was really
Oh,
cool
wicked.
back in the day.
Yeah, I used to love that, but I remember because I was such a little innocent little boy. I remember treating the person that did the cracks as if he was selling something he wasn't supposed to be selling, as in sort of really bad. Something that I'm not going to say on the podcast, but you get the gist.
Yeah.
And it was Liverpool, so
Did you go around the corner? Did you say?
yeah, it was like a little waistcoat, like, hey lad, do you want a game here? Do you want a game here?
Hey, how do you feel about Crash Bandicoot?
Yeah. I think if a man on a corner opened his jacket and went, "How do you feel about Crash Bandicoot?" I would run the other way.
Oh
And
God,
that
can
is
you
getting
imagine?
clipped.
Yeah, can you imagine? Bloody hell.
Oh God. Oh
Uh,
God.
Katie, you've got a vast collection of games. Is there a game that means a lot to you personally, but may not be the best game in the world, may not be critically acclaimed?
Yeah, yeah, there's plenty of games like that. Probably there was a game called Fighting Masters, which was a Japanese game on the Mega Drive, and I
Okay.
found Fighting Masters in the park.
Oh wow.
So, so when Mega Drives were kind of current but not
Yeah.
current, so there was a just a loose cart in a dewy park while I was walking my dog, and I picked it up and dried it out at home and tested it, and it worked. And I for some reason that always, I don't know, it always stuck with me. And it was
Oh
probably, it wasn't the best game I ever played,
no.
Fighting Masters, but it was free and it was cool, and I'd found it in a park, and I just thought that was really rad. And I
Look,
don't know how one discards a
bloody,
Japanese
I
Mega
don't.
Drive
Yeah, no.
game in a park.
There's a kid out there somewhere crying his eyes out, going, "I've lost my game."
For Fighting Masters. And
Yeah.
I
Oh
and then
God.
I bought a boxed one a few years back for myself because I thought I can't have just an unboxed cart. But yeah, I
Oh
bought a
wow.
boxed version. And one other game I really liked was Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, and I just really loved that game. And then I brought it to, so I'm Irish, so I used to go to Ireland to visit my family. And one
Hmm.
day it just wouldn't work. I'm like,
Oh
what's
no.
happened to that? What's happened to my Michael Jackson Moonwalker? My dad opened it up. Somebody had stuck a knife inside of it and sliced the wires. Absolutely
Oh,
heartbroken.
Oh my God.
wow.
Who thinks that's not working? Let me just stick a knife into that.
Oh God.
Wow.
We all know you blow it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell.
It's a good thing that
uh,
person who did that never had a broken toaster.
yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I think it's got to
Stick a
be my
knife in it.
cousin.
Yeah.
It's got to be my cousin.
It's
We
it's
never
always a
discussed this,
cousin.
but
It's always
Yeah,
a
it's
cousin, isn't it?
always a cousin. I've got some horror stories about. Oh, I'll say this one. To this day, it's pissed me off. I might have mentioned it before, but I've never completed GTA 4. Reason being
okay.
was I had got really far in the game, and then during the summer, my mum was basically like, "Oh, your cousin from France will be coming over, and they'll stay in your room." And I was like, "Ah, okay, that's fine, whatever." One day, I've gone upstairs, right, and he has turned on my PS3 and was playing it completely fine, right?
Hmm.
And then I literally saw him because, like, my mum basically had told us to come down to get food. I literally saw him in slow motion save over my game file, my save,
Mate.
and like I couldn't even say anything. I was just stood there going, surely not, surely he has not just done that, and he did, and I've never played GTA 4 again. Like I just couldn't
Oh,
bring
mate.
myself to do it.
It's one of the better
So
GTAs as well, I
That's quite
think.
sad. That's quite a sad story, that, mate.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's always a
Yeah.
cousin, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I never played it again. That's quite sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I might give it a whirl, but probably not.
What
Yeah.
can I ask? You said that you had to go down for dinner. What was that like? Like sat next to him eating dinner. What was that
Do you,
like?
do you want to know the funny thing about it? I have no recollection of that day after that event. Right? Like I don't genuinely like the last. In fact, I don't even remember what happened after after that. Like I remember the following year, I put like codes on all my consoles, so
Yeah.
like he couldn't access them, and like I'd unplug it from the socket and stuff. But yeah, I don't remember what happened. I think I've just blanked
Yeah.
out that whole period.
Just got an image of you
Oh,
as soon as he saves over, you start getting ringing in your ears and you just black
Yeah,
out and it's the
yeah.
next day.
blacks out.
It's, especially because yeah, what also really pissed me off, right, was because um at the time I was working like getting cash in hand, right?
Mm,
And I had pre-ordered the collector's edition for GTA 4, right?
Mm.
And I basically used all my money, right? So it was the choice of getting that game or walking to get like as in getting the game and walking to game station, which was like an hour walk there and an hour walk back, or catching the bus and just getting the standard edition. And I chose to
right.
walk, right? So like it was just painful. But yeah, anyway.
Oh. I feel like we've awoken something in Poetic with that story there.
Yeah,
I
exactly. Yeah. I'm
I
gonna
think it's
message him.
therapeutic.
Yeah.
I think after this he might play it again, or he'll confront his cousin. I don't know which one's going to
Yeah, well,
happen, but I'm here for it.
both.
Yeah.
Both.
Oh dear. So do you
Oh,
know what happens at the end, or have you stayed away from it?
I've completely stayed away from it.
Wow. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
like a massive spoiler thing, is
Yeah,
it? Like, but like,
I don't think it will be that big of a spoiler, but
no,
some I it's not deliberate. Like I haven't deliberately stayed away from it, but no one's ever mentioned what happens. I don't want to know.
no, no, no. Um,
Anyway,
yeah, moving
go on.
swiftly on. So,
Yeah.
Katie, this is where we talk about our gaming last meal. So, if you haven't listened to the podcast before, I believe you said you have. I don't know if you've heard this part of the podcast, but essentially, you have a starter, which is your kind of like mini game. If you so it can be a really small game, or it can be a game within a game. You have your main, which is your AAA. Doesn't have to be a well-known game, but just a
Okay.
main game that you want to play. And then you have your dessert, which is your cozy game, or like you said, your
Okay.
kind of like sim-like game. And this is under the impression that someone has said to you, right, from tomorrow you can never game again. After tomorrow you can never game again. So this is your
Okay.
last gaming session, or last gaming meal, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I know it's a lot, so let's start with your
Ooh.
starter.
So a mini game. So
Hmm.
okay. Let's have a little think. I'm thinking Mega Drive, but they're too big. They're too big and too time consuming for a starter. They just are. You're not going to finish it that quick, and it's not going to happen. So I'm thinking something a little more modern. Maybe Stray, which I
Mm.
absolutely
Ooh,
adored. It was
Stray is a
such
fantastic game. Yeah.
I loved it. And look, I'm really bad for finishing games. I am totally, a little bit neurospicy. I get distracted. I move on very quickly. I've changed games a million times and gone back to things a million times, but finishing games is not my forte. But Stray, I sat down and I absolutely nailed it. For me, it was a beautiful world, which I love. Playing as a cat was a little bit unique, but it
Yeah.
didn't impact the gameplay. I thought it added to the gameplay. I just really, really, really found it a beautiful, and it was short as well, so I actually finished it
Yeah.
instead of. Oh, oh
So,
wow!
so funny story
Mm,
about that. Sorry to cut you off,
no,
but so I actually got it down digitally when it came out. I think it came out digitally first, if I remember correctly, right? And then they announced the physical copy, and they were basically like, "Oh, it will come with pictures in the case." And I was like, "Oh gosh, I really, really want this," and sold out everywhere, like literally, like instantly sold out. And one day I was in Argos, and I have this habit of going on the screens and just like going to video games and then just like scrolling through, and they had one in stock for £10.
Nice.
wow,
So I was
that's a
like,
bargain.
yeah, I was like, yes, I need this thing. But yeah, it's an absolutely fantastic game. So yeah,
It's just
S-
so beautiful. It's one of them
yeah.
beautiful games, one of them worlds that, yeah, escape into.
See, Stray was one that like completely passed me by. I played it, but I think it's kind of like, you know, when there's a big game that you play and you kind of, oh, I'll play this one to kind of take me away from it. But I think that big, I don't remember what it was. It might have been like a Last of Us or a Red Dead or something. But that big game pulled me away from it. So after hearing you guys say, you know, wax lyrical about it, I might have to replay it. I might have to give it another go.
I'll do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
cool.
would. I would. And just allow yourself the time. And yeah, it's just very enjoyable. It's just a really nice escapism type game.
Nice. Well, it's definitely not a game that you can do in this reality, is it? It's not something you can do. I'm gonna be a cat. Well, some people might, but that's another topic
Some
for
people
another.
do.
Exactly. Yeah, I
That's
was
another
gonna say.
topic for another podcast, isn't it?
Oh,
Okay, Katie. So your main, your big, you know, this is the game that you're gonna kind of
Oh,
fill your hours with, your last few hours of
see,
gaming.
I've played a lot of big games, and you know, like I'm throwback Katie. I need to go something old, but all I can think of is like, you know, like modern games like Skyrim, and I'm not going to go
oh.
Yeah,
Skyrim though. I'm not going to do that. Um, I'm going to go Final Fantasy 7.
The
nice.
I'm
remakes or
going
the
to go
original?
Final Fantasy. Ooh, I'm going to go. I mean, I love the original. The original's the whole reason I played the remake,
Yeah, yeah.
but does the remake add a little something that the I don't know, because I think the original still stands really well, so I'm going original because I think it still holds up really well, and plus I can't go for all modern games. I just can't do it. I have
Yeah,
to go
okay.
for something a little bit older. So we'll go PS1 and we will go Final Fantasy 7 for main meal original,
Nice. I
not
like
remake.
it. I like it. And lastly, your dessert, which is like a little cozy game. So it can be anything from like Power Wash Simulator to Stray could have fitted into that category, you know,
Yeah.
whatever is just a,
d-
or it could be like your partner. It would probably be Battlefield as their cozy game,
Yeah,
you know.
okay.
So
I'm with you. I think my cozy games definitely. I've definitely got to go sim game on here. So
Okay.
I'm not going to go Sims 4. I'm going to go older again, and I'm going to
mm,
go Theme Hospital. I'm going to go for
nice.
the old bloated head Theme Hospital. That's where I'm going with that, because I play. Look, the 2.1s are fantastic. I don't know if you're into that, but the
Yeah, I
2 point
love them.
campus, 2 point hospital, absolutely fantastic. But I'm going to go older, and I'm going to go Theme Hospital, and that still stands as well. That's
Yeah,
still an epically good game. It's
Yeah.
I can pick that up at any time. Theme Park, same again, but lacks a little bit of the detail that Theme Hospital has, I would say.
mm,
But
yeah.
yeah, I'm going to go Theme Hospital.
I, I'm I'm so happy that you said one of those types because I am like when I didn't like I had a PS1 because my dad had a PS1 and it got handed down to me, and I remember him on his bulky back PC playing like Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, More Tycoon, School Tycoon, like just anything that had Tycoon in the name, Prison
Yeah.
Tycoon, like there were so many good. And if you looked at them now, they're kind of like the supermarket simulator games in that it's the same game reskinned, but I didn't care. I
Yes.
love them anyway. You know,
No, I'm a
they're
big
so
fan.
good. Yeah.
I remember I had one. It was it Afterlife? Did you ever play Afterlife? It was a
I haven't.
fantastic sim game
No.
about heaven and hell. So
Okay.
you built your own heaven and your own
Oh, well.
hell, and
Oh, cool.
it, I think it was a Sierra game. I want to say, oh, I can't remember, but it was really good. And then I'd like Caesar. Do you remember like Caesar 3, which was like another one where you built your Roman Empire? And I used to
I
play all of
had.
these on the PC. I absolutely loved them.
Did you ever have Glory of the Roman Empire?
No.
Oh my. Right. I remember that I bought that game because the battles looked amazing. And I must have got my wires crossed somewhere because I completed that game and there was not one blooming battle in it. It was more about the actual like building the aqueducts and the Colosseum, and
Oh
that
yeah.
was
Yeah.
probably the closest thing to a battle, the Colosseum. That was it. But I remember like I think I probably bought that game about 5 times over the years because I remember it being really good and having really good battles, and then I'll get it and then I'll not play it for ages, end up getting rid of it because I think it's rubbish, and then I go, oh, there was this good Roman game with battles, and then it's a vicious circle.
Then you
Oh
try to
dear.
sort your plebs out and get everything built. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. But anything like logistical or anything like that, right up my street. Like one that you might like is like Manor Lords or Medieval Dynasty. They're like modern.
Okay.
Of the Medieval Dynasty is very like intense, but Manor Lords is more of a you build a woodcutter's hut and you get wood, then you can build a house, and then the house people get a job, and it like spirals that way. It's a bit
Mm.
more lenient, but those games are absolutely amazing. It turns into a full-time job, but I love it.
I'm like, I mean, I play Animal Crossing as well. I am a bit that way inclined too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will sit there for hours doing useless tasks. Dreamlight Valley, another one, Disney
Oh yeah.
Dreamlight Valley. Um,
Nice.
but yeah, yeah, I like mindless games. Sometimes you just need that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, you do.
I get it. Okay, so thank you for doing the game and last meal. I know it's a bit daunting that we don't really tell you what's coming up for that, but I always think it's quite good to have that a bit more on the spot. Because if you're
Yeah.
thinking about that the
I
whole
agree.
podcast, you can think of loads of different games. So now we're gonna do a quick fire round. But what usually happens with these quick fire rounds, and it has happened today, is naturally the guest, i.e., you, answers all of those questions whilst we go through. So me
Yeah.
and Poetic are just going to kind of off the cuff ask you kind of one word to short sentence questions
Oh,
and just try your best to answer them. So I'm going to cheat a little bit and go for the last question, which hasn't been answered. Um, what are your top 3 games of all time?
that one's impossible.
I know.
That
I
one's
know.
impossible. Final Fantasy 7 got to
Yep.
be. Um, God, that's really hard.
I know.
I'm gonna go. Let's go Crazy Taxi because it's great.
Yeah.
It's so playable. It's so playable. And then I play. But you know what else I play a lot of? Pinball. I play a lot of
Okay.
um I play a lot of pinball on my Xbox. So maybe some pinball. Maybe
Nice.
some yeah, Pinball FX.
Do you know
Really
what I
good.
like about that?
Nice.
That out of those 3 games, there's only one game that's kind of like mainstream, really. Obviously, Kate Crazy
Yeah.
Taxi's got a massive cult following, and it's like one of the the better games of like the retro era. But two of those games were very niche, and I quite like that because usually people will be like, "Oh, GTA 5, Skyrim, and Red Dead 2," and you're like, "Come
Yeah.
on, I got a bit of
Yeah,
originality."
do you know what? I didn't know where to take that. And I probably should have went for a point and click as well. I probably should have said Day of the Tentacle, because that's probably the only game I've completed on every console it's ever released on.
Oh wow.
Yeah, wow.
So I probably should have gone for that. Because I've done it on PC, I've done it on PlayStation 3, I've done it on PlayStation 5, and I've done it on Xbox. And it's one of those games that I always return to. So I probably should have said somewhere. Maybe 4 games then.
Yeah.
There you
If you
go,
have to do
4
4,
games.
there you go.
Yeah.
There you
go. Gosh, I feel a bit scuppered now because I was going to ask the last one.
go. The third question's there.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay. What would be your dream game, and why would it involve cranes? I'm joking.
Crane Simulator. My dream game would be in some far off land, in some make-believe place with the craziest story. Like, I don't know, have you ever read the Mistborn books? I don't know if you're readers or not.
I haven't, but
No.
I do want to.
So this is a book by Brandon Sanderson, and it's the world it's in is it's ripe for a computer game. So it's a guy, and he's got these special powers, and there's like this whole evil overlord system of where that it's just fantastic. And I think something that based in fantasy is always going to be my dream game, but it has to have a strong storyline. If it's lacking storyline, I'm not going to be invested. If it's not pulling me in that way, I'm not going to be invested at all.
Is that the collection of books where the quote "Journey before destination" comes from?
Do you know what it might be? I'm not such a quotist to know that, so I won't pretend. I could nod and smile and pretend and go for it, but no idea. But they are fantastic. If you haven't read them, definitely give them a read. I've read them twice.
And then I've got one more question.
Go for it.
Because I want a definitive answer that is objective. What's the best console?
Mega Drive.
Objectively. I feel like that's not an objective
That
answer.
was so quick, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
That was so quick. Didn't even finish the
Mega
question.
CD?
Mega Drive.
Yeah, Mega Drive.
Mega CD. It's look, I think in terms of games, and it's got to be the Mega Drive. It's got to be the Sega Mega Drive. There's so many games in so many different types of games, like, you know, your Sonic the Hedgehog, we start there, then you've got all these Disney games, Mickey Mania, the Little Mermaid, you know, this Quack Shot. I'm going quite Disney there, but the Disney games on the Mega Drive were absolutely fantastic. Castle of Illusion, World of Illusion. I used to play that with my dad. My dad would be Donald Duck, I'd be Mickey Mouse. And I just think for the amount of games and the amount of different types of games you've got your fighting games, you've got your Mortal Kombats, I think it's got everything.
Love it.
You might know this, right? A memory just sparked in my brain.
Yeah, we saw.
What was the Solar Cogs turning, right? What was the Mickey Mouse point and click game where you had to save either Mickey or Minnie from like the castle?
Ooh.
Oh, it's gonna do my head in there. If anyone
Mega
knows,
Drive or
I played it PC, but it could have been at some point. I'm not too sure.
was it Castle of Illusion where they start at the start and they're dancing around Mickey and Mickey, and then it all goes kind of dark. I mean, one of the best games ever made, Castle of Illusion, but
it may well have been.
Objectively.
Objectively.
With a strong use of objectively, one of the best games ever made. Yep.
If anyone knows in like the comments or anything, let us know, because that's gonna do my head in. It may well be Castle of Illusion. No, I'll have to look that up.
I've got a second question for you. Or third question really. Objectively, are you looking forward to Ocarina of Time remake?
No.
Really? Because the reason why I asked that is because going through, I don't think you've
Yeah.
mentioned a single Nintendo game.
And I never got into the Zeldas. I just never got into them. And I'm always a little bit embarrassed to say that, but I'm going to be out front here. I don't sit there and play Zeldas. I don't do it. And maybe I should.
Do you know what?
Maybe,
I actually
yeah.
think you would absolutely love the Zelda games.
Do you think it's
Probably
because
would.
I'm so like Sega that I just can't function in a Nintendo environment?
Potentially, right? But The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time is the so I love reading books.
Yeah.
I love writing, all of that stuff. Hence the name. But The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time was the first time I actually sat there and said, and like it actually clicked that someone wrote this story. Like games just don't appear. Like someone actually
Okay.
thinks about it. So yeah, if there is one Nintendo game you should play, Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Should I wait for the remake, or should I grab the original out?
If you can grab the original, I don't know
Yeah,
how much it is, but yeah,
I've got it. I just haven't played it.
honestly, you will not regret it at all.
Okay. I will take that on board and I will try it because I believe you. I know,
She's
do you know
never
what?
gonna
And
play
I
it. She's never gonna play
don't know whether
it.
no, well, it's when sometimes when things are so hyped as well, I don't know what happens to me. I go, no, I don't need it.
Yeah, I'm
No,
a
I
bit like
don't
that.
need it. I need to find my own way. I don't know what it
No,
is, honestly.
no, honestly, it is such a fantastic game.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I
and
think that's the only Zelda game I have played.
You have played.
Yeah, I think so. I might be wrong though.
I think you might be wrong because you don't seem infused by it.
No, it probably doesn't narrow it down, but the only Zelda game I played was on the Wii, and you started in a forest.
That could have been. I mean, a lot of them you start in a forest, but yeah, Ocarina of Time.
Exactly, it doesn't narrow it down really.
No,
no, I
Um,
know I should play it, and I'm a little bit embarrassed saying I haven't. To be fair, I know enough about it to be embarrassed to say that I haven't bothered.
well, I will share the embarrassment with you in that I haven't ever played Final
Thank you.
Fantasy. So,
yeah, same. I haven't.
oh
No,
God,
I'm
I
sure.
saw the drop of the face then. Oh my word, I got scared then. I will
It
play
is
it.
this. Yeah,
I will
I don't
play it. It's
believe you
just
either.
the thing is there's so many games. There's so
Yeah,
many. It is literally impossible to play them all at the same time. Like
Yeah,
within a
it is.
lifetime, sorry.
No, it is. No, and I'm with you. And then what happens is there's that many games that I get so overwhelmed that I just go, oh no, just put the Xbox on, see what is
Yeah.
there,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
and that's it. And I'm like, get Game Pass, Xbox. What am I playing lately? High on Life 2, loving it, very
Ooh.
funny. But
Yeah.
it's kind of
Little segue. I randomly got an email a few weeks ago from like a company that markets games. It was like, here's a free code, have it. And I was like, okay. And I thought it was spam. Googled this email and they're like, no, this is a legit thing. Put it into my PlayStation, High on Life 2. I was like, happy days,
Wow.
sound.
nice.
And like, correct me if I'm wrong. I know it's not a new game; it's like a year old or so, but it'd still be like 30 odd quid, wouldn't it? So
Yeah,
20,
it's
30
a
quid.
cool game. I thought that was a really fun game. I thought that was really, really fun. Funny
Yeah,
as well.
Mm.
Good
I love
comedy.
the
I like a
first
game with a
one.
bit of comedy. Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's great.
yeah. I was trying to platinum it at one point, and then I got sidetracked as I usually do. Um, but Katie, to kind of wrap up the podcast, do you have any questions for us after we've grilled you for the best part of an hour and a half?
Yeah, I would like to know, because I think the hardest question is asking someone their top 3 games, and I'm sure you spoke about it before, but I don't know your top 3 games, and that probably for me that's the hardest question you asked me. So I want to ask you both, what are your top 3 games?
See, the difficult thing with this is we recently did a series saying our top 3 games, but
Yeah.
Okay.
I think mine has actually changed since then.
Go for it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say Kingdom Come Deliverance at 3.
Wait. Can we just stop? Right. When this podcast ended, yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything, and then during the next episode, I was gonna turn around and be like, "Damn, it wasn't mentioned in the last episode, and you had to ruin that."
Yeah, I have
Just for
mentioned Kingdom Come
context,
Deliverance in every single podcast episode, by the way.
yeah,
I've got it in there somehow.
we've done like over 40 episodes, and every single episode that game comes up somehow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
I
Anyway,
love
go on.
it, but the reason it's not number 2 or number 1 is because I've played it so much that the replayability for it is kind of like dead now. Because I have literally like to platinum the game, you have to get like 700-800 hours in it. So
Mm.
I've explored every nook and cranny. I know everything there is to know about that game, which is a bit sad, but I do. Number 2 is going to be Clair Obscure Expedition 33.
Okay.
I can't remember. I think Kingdom Come Deliverance was number 2, and then number 3 was something else. I can't quite remember what I put that as. But then number 1, and it will always stay this, I think, is Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Just because I
Nice.
absolutely
Ooh.
that game is the most replayable game ever made for me personally because I love pirates and I think Assassin's Creed is Ubisoft's best franchise by a mile. Even the new
Yeah.
ones I think are fairly good.
Are you forgetting about Splinter Cell?
No,
Okay. Wow.
I think
Okay.
Assassin's Creed is much better than Splinter Cell, and I know Marv listens to this podcast and he will come for me, but yeah.
Um. So my top 3. So during the series, I did my top 10 on the games that have influenced me or taught me something as a person, and the top 3 was, I can't remember the order. Well, I think I can. It was The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, Super Mario Sunshine, and Beautiful Joe. All of
Ooh.
all of them were on GameCube.
Yeah.
But if I was to say, I'll go current gen. So current gen. Top 3 would be Astrobot, probably number 1. That is my favorite game I've played in quite a long time. Um, The Last of Us would come in second, and then third place is quite difficult, but I would probably say Call of Duty, but the
Ooh.
Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, that
Yeah,
campaign,
Nice.
yeah, that blew me away. So
Ooh, they're
that
interesting. Yeah.
that was a mental game as well. Call of Duty 4. When that came out, that was like
yeah,
whoa.
yeah, no, it like that. I think that was the first time I sat there and was like, do you know what? Like like the PS3 is a beast of a machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I even called my mum, who obviously my mum has no interest in video games, doesn't know what it is. She still thinks I play. What did she say before? She basically keeps calling every console a Nintendo.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah. And I called her and I was like, Mum, like, look at the rain. And then I heard her on the phone to one of her friends going, "Oh, he's showing me rain in a movie," and I was like, well, that's bonus points because she thinks it's a movie, not a video
Yeah.
game. So yeah. But yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
Mum, if you're
So
listening, I'm sorry.
Oh dear, you've outed your mum, I've outed my dad on this podcast, dear me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't managed not to out anyone. So I've
Yeah,
done
well
quite well
done.
today.
Well done. Any other questions? You can ask as many as you want.
No, I don't think so, guys. I just want to say I've really enjoyed today. And when
Oh,
you were
thank
talking
you.
about big games, like there's so many games out there, and I'm
Mm,
like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I haven't even mentioned Fallout. Like I haven't even got into
yeah,
Fallout, and like Detroit. I love Detroit. It was a fantastic
Yeah.
game. Like these kind of modern day, almost point and click type games. I don't know. Like there's just so much out there.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
it's it's an interesting world.
It
that's
is.
why I always like doing top tens and seeing other people's top tens because like mine personally, I had the likes of Stronghold 2, GTA San
Okay.
Andreas, and because like I grew up with very like not retro but very much PC because my dad used to work in IT, so he just ended up getting all these computer parts and tinkering with them and he was able to crack games and do
Oh,
all,
that's
all these
cool.
different amazing things with games like we had like SWAT 4. I can't believe I never even put that in my top 10 because that was one of my favorite games of the time, but it doesn't quite get in there over others.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like more and more, the more that you look back, your favorite games will always be based around like the memories that you make while you're
Yeah.
playing the games,
That's true. Yeah.
rather than like I don't know, like how good the game actually is. Like the reason Stronghold 2 is my favorite is because back in the day, games would be a lot more like they wouldn't have a lot of voice acting, but they'd have like a little one or two line thing when you selected a character or something like that. And in Stronghold 2, when you needed more wood, I think I spoke about this before, the little characters will go, more wood is needed. So now, whenever I'm round my dad's and we've drank our cup of tea, we'll look at each other and go, more tea is needed. And this is like a 25-year-old game that's like become a quote in our
Yeah.
day-to-day life. So I think stuff like that's mad and really, really cool.
But yeah, no, it's and again, like the reason for the podcast is like we're all like connected by our one passion or one of our passions, which is gaming, right? But then within the gaming sphere, there are so many different avenues
Mm,
and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a fun, beautiful thing.
yeah. But if that's kind of everything, we will wrap up. So for anyone who hasn't already, make sure you follow the podcast. Go follow Katie. Katie, if you want to kind of say where people can find you.
Yeah, I'm on Throwback Katie on TikTok and Instagram.
Amazing. So
Wicked.
usually I don't really say go follow people, but Katie is an amazing person. She does amazing
Yeah.
content. Go follow her. She's absolutely awesome, and it's completely free to follow people, so you should. Um,
Thanks.
but yeah, Poetic, if you want to sign us off,
Yeah, sure. Katie, honestly, it's been absolutely fantastic. We would
100%.
definitely love to have you on again. So keep a lookout for one of us DMing you in the near future to for you to come back. But yeah, listeners, watchers, thank you so much for spending the best part of over an hour and a half with us, listening to Katie explain her Shed 2 setup, really. And as always, gamers, happy
Happy
gaming.
gaming.